Welcome to episode 10 of the Daily David Show. It's a news show. We titled it David Daily. So if you're looking to tune in, you can get across all platforms for LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. We're live on YouTube and Twitch, and we're also live on X as well as Kick. Welcome to the news today. This is the 10th episode of streaming every single day. It's incredible to be here. We've got TikTok going as well. And the format of this show is just so interesting. First of all, we start with current news, and then we go from current news to quantum topics, of course. And so we have a current news section. Very excited for that today. Then we go into quantum topics, of course, where we're talking about quantum, all things quantum. Quantum's so big. Then we have AI and faith, which we talk about AI and religion, AI and faith. Of course, then today we're actually going to have an artificial intelligence demonstration. I'm so excited for that, Clark. So excited for that. It looks like Clark Von Heller is live. Thank you so much. By the way, if you're tuning in today, please tell me where you are tuning in from. I would love to hear which city, which state, which country even. And then, of course, my favorite segment, Beyond the Bag, where we talk about what's in my travel bag and how we can be more sustainable in our travel adventures. So, guys, we're so excited today. In our news segment, I wanted to start off by saying the power of going live on LinkedIn is so key. It's so incredibly awesome to hear about what is possible with LinkedIn. And that's actually our news source. We do this very often. Here is our LinkedIn news source. This is exactly how we go live on LinkedIn. And as you can see here, we go to our news sources and we get the top stories here on LinkedIn. This is your daily source of current news, corporate news, career news, you name it. We're looking to keep this up to date for you and for all of the people that you care about, for all of the news segments that you might be thinking about. And even better, we like to share the latest and the greatest from a news point of view. So you can see here, we've got Oracle, NVIDIA, Fed. We're going to talk about these today. Now, going back to me, full screen, we're going to get into the current news, start the ticker. And I'm very excited to share that actually in our current news today, we see that NVIDIA's H200 AI chips are cleared for China export amid the US security review. So what's super interesting about this, as we know, is that we have China, which is a kind of a trade ally of the United States, but also at the same time, it is an organization where we have seen actually some potential economic tension, foreign relations, diplomacy. And so we actually know that if we look here, I'm going to switch over to this news bit. So we see that ByteDance and Alibaba are actually even keen to ordering these NVIDIA H200 chips after Trump gives the green light. So this is a massive new chip. ByteDance is saying, oh yeah, we actually want to buy this chip. So not only do we have the green light to import these chips directly from China, but we also have the ability to see that other companies like Alibaba, which is a Chinese company, is very interested in this as well. Now, what does this mean for us here? It just means that we've got more access to trade, more access to all the things as it relates to Alibaba and chips internally to the United States. We're just going to see more and more things happening with those AI chips. Obviously, NVIDIA is soaring with that, so I would imagine that there will be some implications on the stock market today. So yeah, just be kind of aware of that. The next piece of news is Federal Reserve related. You named it, you called it, and that's exactly right. The Federal Reserve is likely to cut rates, which it signals just one more reduction even next year. We may even potentially see that next year. Now, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I am not licensed, full disclaimer, but I do care about the news. Wallace, thank you for joining. Delaney, good to see you on the live feed for your daily news. It's so great. Love it that y'all are here. And if you're tuning in for the first time, please just go ahead and post in the chat where you're tuning in from. Would love to see that. Now, the Federal Reserve is likely to cut rates. What does that mean for homeowners? Is that we're going to see probably a lot more people cutting down on their, their mortgages, right? They're going to refinance their mortgages now that rates are lower. And we could see that the Fed chair is very bullish on doing that. So that is the second piece of current news. Looks like we've got UB3757 joined. Eileen, good to see you again. And we've got Makesha Burnett on Instagram. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's so great to see y'all today on the 10th episode. Can you believe it? 10 episodes of the David Daily Show. We've got two people here on LinkedIn. Love it. And of course, the third bit of news is kind of a fascinating one. We've got a little bit out of the Housing Wire saying that as a result of these rate cuts, actually, we're going to see even more people refinancing their homes this winter. Just yesterday, we saw the news that the delistings is soaring through the roof for December 2025. What is happening? That means people are taking their homes off of the market. Okay, they've got their home staged. They have the home staged, ready to go, ready to process, ready to sell. They've told the kids, look, we're moving. We're going to get a new home for Christmas. But guess what? Record numbers of people are saying, no, we're going to stay in our home. We're going to do Christmas in our home this year because, one, we can't really afford to move. Moving is expensive. It's stressful. But second of all, with the Fed cutting these rates, we're actually going to see, you named it, a refinance wave will come. You heard it here first. A refinancing wave will come. And you can actually see that actually as prices become more volatile, we got ChatGPT on the side saying the macro timing for this launch is shifting, which means it will signal a broader credit cycle transition. What exactly does that mean? It means that more people are going to be interested in cycling out of bad debt into good debt, refinancing, bringing those debt numbers down. And we're going to start to see actually people are going to be more focused on refinancing their home. And that is good because that means there'll be less moving, there'll be less stress. And that's good for society. When there's less stress, we see society being healthy. And we know that stress is the #1 cause for disease in the world, including cancers and all sorts of things. So I just want to say thank you for the current news segment. And now on to quantum topics, one of my favorites. So we have the quantum topics ticker going now. If you're on TikTok, you won't be able to see that, but I'm so thankful that we've got some viewers here. We've got Billion Tail, we've got Starlit, we've got Wallace again, we got Zola, Robert, Jesse. We got so many people on TikTok. So great to see y'all there. And for quantum topics, we have the first quantum topic, which is, you named it, quantum art. Guess what? We've got quantum art raising $100 million in a Series A. Guys, come on. If you're in startups, if you're adding anything to your startup ecosystem, you want to be able to see this, that the quantum art is raising $100 million in a Series A to scale what? Full stack quantum systems. Okay, we're talking about a full stack of soup to nuts, an end-to-end system that gives you the ability to see art. Is so interesting in this news article. It's an Israeli quantum computing startup. Why is this interesting? It's interesting because this art studio has raised $100 million in a Series A, raising the total capital to $124 million. So if you're on this show for the first time, if you're seeing this for the first time, I just want to say thank you for joining. This is exactly what we're doing here. Vesper, good to see you here. And I see only Grace joined on Instagram. Guys, if you are here in the comments, please post your comments. And I see that, yes, a refi wave is coming. Less stress is good. And we see that there is quantum art. Yes, quantum art, Jesse, that's exactly right. Not only that, but it's a huge space to drive security, safety, and all the things. So we're excited here to talk about the news. This is a daily news network. It is a daily news network. We launched our daily news network. We're so excited about that. And of course, the next bit of news is right here. You name it, New Quantum. Okay, New Quantum has raised $60 million in a Series A, which is the largest financing in the quantum computing network. So remember, we got all sorts of quantum computing, we got all sorts of quantum, but this right here is actually a quantum computing networking. This is coming out of Cambridge, England, and Los Angeles today. No, New Quantum has closed its oversubscribed $60 million Series A funding round led by none other than National Grid partners you can read on the screen, including participation from Gresham House Ventures and Morpheus Ventures, and a continued support from existing investors, including Amadeus Capital Partners doubling down. We've got IQ Capital, Ahran Capital, Cambridge Enterprise Ventures, East Innovate, and SSIF, and Sumitomo Presito Ventures, which is most likely a Latina company. It's the largest funding round ever raised by a pure play quantum networking company. And it is the largest quantum Series A in the United Kingdom to date. Did you hear me? This is the largest quantum investment in all of what other than England, the United Kingdom, the motherland for those in America, for those in India, Australia, and Canada, anywhere that pays homage to the motherland. That is such an interesting news bit for today. And so, in other quantum news, we also see that Quantum Research Sciences CEO Ethan Kremis explains how companies bringing quantum into logistics now. So we actually see that this is a very fascinating article here, talking about how this Sciences CEO, Ethan Kremis, is actually bringing, there's Ethan, he is bringing this directly to the ecosystem. And we see that actually, yeah, Quantum is applying quantum optimization tools to prevent part shortages. I love that use case. Quantum systems for sourcing is huge. We know that Amazon is investing into this. We see a huge uprise in logistics-based quantum optimization. I mean, think about it. With superposition, if I can have a qubit here and a qubit there and a qubit everywhere, why wouldn't I do that in quantum optimization to help with part shortages? Maybe you remember in a previous pandemic or where we had 6 weeks to stop the spread. Well, guess what happened? All logistics came to a complete stop. And what we saw with when that happened was that, hey, Marlene, I see you joined. It's so great to have you. Lots of people. We saw that parts were in shortage everywhere. What does that actually mean? That means that there was a massive shortage. There was a massive shortage in all sorts of things that were going on. And we saw that actually as a result of that, we saw people not able to get their vehicles back. Obviously, we've seen gasoline is now at an all-time low. And actually, we think that that's quite interesting. We also see that the company is pairing these AI-based models with quantum engines that calculate the mix of replacement parts, suppliers, and lead time. When you think about that superposition where multiple qubits can exist at the same time, this concept and this topic will enable logistics providers to be more efficient, more sustainable, eliminate waste. And that's exactly what we're all about here on the David Daily. David Daily coming to you strong every single day. And we love to see CEO Ethan Kremis that logistics and supply chain offers near-term commercial use cases for quantum computing, contrasting with more hardware-intensive applications like molecular simulation that are further from deployment. What does that mean? That means we can immediately get to a place where we have quantum lighting up, which is so incredible. Quantum topics coming at you strong. And finally, we have a shift into our next segment, which, as you know, we love to focus on AI and faith topics on this show. The third section of the David Daily will always focus on AI and faith. And so if you haven't heard about AI and Faith is an organization that cares about bringing the world's religions, the wisdom of the world, to a town near you. And that town near you is on all major platforms, streaming on podcasts and on live show, going long form video, short form video, written posts, and the like. So we absolutely love that. And all I wanted to say today is that if you haven't joined AI and Faith or checked out our organization, please check us out. We have a private community for AI and Faith on the Quantum Network, and it is so fun. So I'm going to start that ticker here and get right into the news. So, of course, we love to check out what the Vatican is doing. Of course, we have the Vatican saying that actually they're going to be transitioning into some AI and faith movements. So we have Vatican news here. And as you can see here, the Vatican itself is actually saying, oh yeah, guess what? Hong Kong Asian leaders are going to discern AI's pastoral impact on Asian bishops and those Catholics who are located in China. I think this is really huge because now we actually have the worldwide Catholic Church coming together, meeting in Hong Kong and organized by the Federation of Asian Bishops. Did you know that there are Asian bishops in the Federation of Hong Kong? Did you know that the Federation of Asian Bishops, rather, sorry, not the Federation of Hong Kong, but Hong Kong is gathering the Federation of Asian Bishops, and their focus is what are the challenges of artificial intelligence? And what is that need to prioritize education and media literacy as safeguards for human freedom? I really love this because this is a perfect example of how you can see AI being integrated into religion. Thank you so much. We got some people on TikTok. Love that. Thank you so much. Instagram coming in strong. Thank you. We see hi from Trinidad and Tobago. Love that. Absolutely. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm so grateful for everyone who joins in here. And I say more often than not, we actually have people who are coming in and saying, oh, yeah, I'm so grateful to be here. Hi from Trinidad and Tobago. That is awesome. We love our worldwide news segment. And that is exactly what's going on. We have worldwide news coming in strong every single day. Artificial intelligence, we've got all the things, AI and faith. And so our final AI and faith topic for the day is, guess what? It is the Times letters, which is focusing on the American fear about civilization erasure. Now, this is so interesting from a news perspective because guess what? This is basically saying that there is a fear that civilization will be completely potentially erased. Like, what actually does that even mean? Like, all of society is going to be gone, chat? Like, what? Okay, what exactly does this mean from a AI and faith religion? So, actually declared that the Trump administration or the presidential administration of the United States, no matter what policy you believe in, whether you're left or right, up or down, doesn't matter. We like to speak about politics in a very non-biased way, in a very bipartisan way. We're very apolitical on this show because we believe that it is you, the people, that get to decide what politics you believe in. And so, from this perspective, I just wanted to say that this is super interesting because now the administration in the United States will actually require that the democratic change will potentially make Europe unrecognizable. As Melaine Phillips notes, Trump is calling for Europe to save itself. So, what's super interesting here is more responsibility for peace, prosperity, and democracy. While this new turn in US politics lasts, obviously there's been a pretty big change. But what's interesting is that Christian civilization, Sir Melanie Phillips, says that in support of her views, describes the US as being defined by it. That's so interesting to me. I find it very interesting that we have this kind of coming top of our feed today. And then, of course, we see that what is that exactly does that mean? That means that, how are we going to continue to survive? This goes back to the basics of human survivability. It goes back to the focus of what we even care about and why we're even here. And that is a roundup on our current news, our quantum topics, and of course, AI and faith. Now, of course, we always have a segment called Beyond the Bag. But before we do that, I have an AI demonstration today. So every day, we've been talking about demonstrations. We're having some experts on our show, even as early as this coming week, which is going to be phenomenal. We have 19 people in the hopper. And that's right. If you're interested in joining the show, I would encourage you just go to guest.thedaviddaily.com. This is a website. Just go to this website and you'll be able to see all of those things as well. We want to have you on the show. That's right. That's me right here in my gray suit and my white shirt. Yes, that's exactly right. Reveting WW. We have lots of things coming strong to you every single day. And yeah, it's pretty interesting that, there's lots of things going on. So if you're interested in being in the show, look, we already have people sign up for the 18th and the 19th and the 20th and the 22nd. This is insane, people. If you are wanting to get onto the show, you just got to fill out some questionnaires. So once you click a time, you'll actually be asked a handful of questions like your name, your contact information, and then, of course, what best describes your current role. Are you an angel investor, a venture capital partner, a family office investor, a technologist or engineer, or are you a founder in a pre-seed or seed stage startup? And are you an advisor in emerging tech? And then, of course, our second question is, what is the most amount of money you personally invested into early stage startups? We're very interested to hear that. So if you haven't invested into early stage startups, no worries, but we're looking for emerging investors as well as those who have personally acquired over 500,000 into a early stage startup. And then what expertise areas do you actually have a focus in? And so we have some questions here of like, is it quantum technology? Is it actually something that's maybe more aligned to other areas of focus? And as we kind of show you some of these pieces, it's like, okay, do you have an expertise in quantum? And if you do, that's great. We want to have you on the show. And so you can see that we have areas of expertise. I'll just pull those back up again. So quantum technology, quantum intelligence. We're looking for focus in any of these other areas like deep tech, AI, ML, deal flow, early stage investing, spirituality and technology, faith and leadership in tech, or none of the above. That's okay. And then, of course, if you're discussing topics live on the show, let's actually get those topics that you want to talk about on the show as well. And what type of founder support you currently provide, what's your current accreditation status. Obviously, we want to talk to accredited investors so we can be kind of by the book here. And then personally invested lifetime in early stage companies to date, your LinkedIn URL, and then 3 topics. This is the most important section. Talk about 3 topics. So please come join the David Daily Show where we'll have you on the show regularly, and this is your regularly scheduled program. All right, folks, we've got some things to show you here in our AI demonstration. So this is the fourth segment of this show, which we don't always have this aspect, but this is the AI intelligence demonstration, just in terms of how I use ChatGPT. So I have this simple prompt. My goal is to build out a business plan that drives alignment for 111 brands and Goecke marketing services. So essentially, what I was able to do is create a document here that talks about the pillars of that, the media engine, which is this daily show, which you're here listening to us first. Love that. Shoulda, woulda, could I see you? We see Oritz, we see Gabriella, we see so many people joining on the live stream. Also, we got on Instagram, we got Faded V3 and the Mika W19. Thank you so much for joining into the show. I absolutely love when you are here on the show, and it is wonderful to have you part of the show every day. And so now we're gonna actually move back to what this actually means for the media empire. So then we have monetization aspects. We also have a marketing services, which is a cash engine behind the scenes. We also have a sustainability aspect, which is part of our differentiator, which is less travel, less manual labor, lower energy draw, and safer digital workflows. We believe in having a sustainable, environmentally friendly aspect to our technology to set us apart. And then, of course, the long-term asset engine, which is the 111 Brands ecosystem, which is sustainable, faith-aligned, AI-adopted, low energy, and recurring community value. Of course, we have the strategy here, which is interesting. Next moves to build it, having a signature offer. But what I really like down here is I asked for metrics. And that's one way that I want to show you how you too can also be very focused on KPIs and metrics. And so we have a sales KPI right here, which is leads per week, calls booked, sales conversion rates, average contract value, and monthly recurring revenue. So important for any type of a business. Of course, we have delivery KPIs as well. How do we measure time to launch? How do we measure client results? How do we measure retention rate and upsell rate for all of our customers? We're very excited about this as well. Finally, we have our ecosystem KPIs, which, by the way, KPI means key performance indicator. Maybe you've seen this before, but a key performance indicator is an indicator. It's typically a number that's a smart number, and it basically means how are you going to accomplish your goals. And so if you don't have that in your business systems today, consider adding it to your business. And you have something called leading KPIs and lagging KPIs. So all of those are right here for you. So we're actually going to optimize for our mobile view here. So just adding a little bit of a mobile view here. So we have ecosystem KPIs as well, which is number of brands launched. Our goal in the next 10 years is to launch 111 brands that give back 111,000 to faith-based organizations like Destiny Church and others. And also the community size would be, of course, an important aspect of that. Licensing revenue and the number of equity partnerships that we build in the ecosystem. And of course, our North Star is being elite. That is the best of the best of the best. What does that mean? That means that we'll be driving more top of the market, excellent quality in terms of elite media marketing, elite automation with technology, elite community, and elite leadership. As a high performance individual myself, and surrounding myself with advanced advisors, people who have accomplished a lot, I lean in to surround myself with people because I'm always learning. So now, how do we make this applicable? I absolutely love that. With 5.1, I'm integrating this into my agentic workflows. Now, if you have not seen this before, Chat GPT 5.1 is the model that you want to be building on. I do like to have the 5.1 model enabled. This is how we make this applicable. Pitch deck, business model canvas, executive summaries, revenue forecasts, organizational chart across the business, launch schedule, and an investor thesis. So this is so incredibly important to build for your business to show you exactly what's going on. All right, finally, as we close, we're talking about beyond the bag. Come on, somebody, beyond the bag. So what I do is every day I'm traveling, and as I'm a traveler, I have a bag, and here's my bag. So this is my Kelley School of Business bag. And what I do is I pick one thing out of the bag and I put it onto the show. So today, what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick something out of the bag, and I wonder what it is today. It's gonna be, it's gonna be something good. I can already tell. It's gonna be something good. What are we getting out of the bag? All right. All right. I love it. Beyond the bag, we have a business card. All right, whose business card did we draw out of the bag? I absolutely love this. This is Soho House Chicago. And looks like it maybe you've gotten some coffee on it, but I love Chicago. Chicago is a big city, lived there as a kid, and Soho House actually put their Wi-Fi password on here, which I won't read out, but it does have a 7 in it, so I don't know. It's not 6. It's, yeah, exactly. House of 7. And I absolutely love Soho House. If you've not been to Soho House, we have Soho Houses all over the United States. I particularly like Soho House in the West Village in Manhattan, one of my favorites. And of course, if you've not been to Soho House, you got to check it out. It is one of the best experiences that you can have. You can usually go in to the base or the bottom floor of the Soho House and get coffee, get some good Wi-Fi, check it out, and that's going to lead you to their top floors, which is a membership invite-only based community. You can find everything that you need to know on, you named it, the Soho House, and we can actually bring that up right now for the show because we want you to be involved and part of the Soho House. So we absolutely love that we've got the Soho House coming up here, and just putting this right here, Soho House and Company. They're all over the global enterprise, as you can see. Key features, amazing. And of course, New York, which this is one of my favorites in New York City. Soho House is just so elegant, so beautiful, so luxurious. We see all of these things coming to fruition. Of course, you could stay at the Soho House in their residences, which is awesome. And of course, there's lots of things that you can do in the Soho House. So that is the conclusion of the Beyond the Bag segment, my favorite segment of this show. And that comes to conclusion, which is my outro. Just to say, first and foremost, thank you so much for all the dedicated people. I really appreciate you showing up across all platforms. We have Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, Instagram, Kick, and starting tomorrow, we will also be on X, aka Twitter. Thank you so much for joining. That is the end of my live show. Cannot wait to see you show up tomorrow. And I just want to say this. Every day is a day to be grateful, to drive gratitude inside your heart and your soul, to build value for the people around you, including your friends, your partners, your colleagues, your stakeholders, your investors, your shareholders. And it is our goal here on the David Daily to come to you live every single day in the month of December, that month of Advent, as we prepare for the holy holiday, the Christmas holiday. The season of the year is here, and we're extremely grateful with full hearts to be able to serve you. Tune in tomorrow for another episode of the David Daily, and we will lean into topics related to Netflix, Paramount, Warner Brothers, Discovery, HBO. We're going to get into all of those media related topics. So tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Dallas, Texas time, 11 a.m. Eastern New York City time. Coming from you strong. Signing off, my friends. See you tomorrow, folks.